Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and animals. Oh, yes. Special delivery of ice water. Mwah. Oh, yeah, the cat always meows when she just always meows. She always meows. Hey! Hello, everyone. It's time to enhance. It is time to enhance. Let me just there we go. That felt good, nice and relaxing. Look. Typically, this is a Monday night, and we do ourselves some good old-fashioned mostly walking, which is one of the most powerful shows the internet has ever birthed. However, Sean Bloom is out. I just had a work thing come up, real normal-ass things, and I just suggested to Lee that we meet back together when we're all here, because I'm really enjoying the full dynamic of Blade Runner. So what I'm going to be doing is showing you this awesome best. I'm actually larger than normal, aren't I? So let me actually check the size that I am in this. Let me paste myself here. Boom. There we go. That's the right size. That's the right size. Good? This is good? Horrible. Good? Awful. Vain. Perfect, though. Let's go ahead and drag this down. Kill the other one. Boom. Here's the deck that I want to show. Got this one on Jeff Hoogland's stream, as usual. I had a really stupid black-red Kroxa discard deck that was just so funny. You guys saw me ruling that one on Thursday evening after hitting Mythic. And I have been curious if there's a way to get a Kroxa discard setup that is a little bit more stable. And this is a really efficient, effective list that can actually grind games out. Let me actually just get my camel case in order. So the general gist of it is we fill up our graveyard using Mire Tritons, which is also a very good defensive creature. We also have Tymaret Calls the Dead, which fills up our graveyard, and we can exile creatures and enchantments to make zombies. Very nice. We also have Ashiok Dream Render, which is an extremely clever addition to this list because, excuse me, Ashiok, notice it says target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard, then exile each opponent's graveyard. So what you can do is you can use Ashiok to put 4 into your graveyard, which allows to more easily cast the escape card Kroxa. And then it will also still then exile your opponent's graveyard. So it's not target a player, then they discard their graveyard. It always exiles the opponent's graveyard. So this is a really nice tool, especially good in the current meta because of the existence of Uro. There's a lot of Uro being used in various archetypes. Ashiok takes a shit on that. Outside of that, I was saying that there's cards to fill up the graveyard like Mire Triton, like Tymaret Calls the Dead, like Ashiok. And then there are the escape creatures, Phoenix of Ash, and Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. These are honestly the boys. These are the boys. This is the crew that wins the games for you. Because every time they get deleted, you're filling your deck up so much that you just keep replaying these. So, Cutie Christine says the finishers. I'm going to say yes and make a stronger statement, which is that they are your entire game plan, actually. They don't just finish. They beat ass from start to finish, Cutie Christine. Molly says, wait, isn't Oro banned? Oh, no, that's Oko. Oko is banned, not Uro. A lot of mystical names to keep track of. The remainder of the deck is essentially control-type cards. Removal with a Murderous Rider can hit creatures or planeswalkers. Removal with Bedevil. This you can think of as a little bit of redundancy for the Murderous Rider. It hits artifacts too, so if you're against red, you can bink an Embercleave. So we have some removal here. We also have some very cheap, efficient removal in the form of Bonecrusher, just pinging for 2 against mono-red decks. We also have a little bit of exile efficiency that we can go for. Eat to Extinction gets around all the cards that have escape because they just go straight to the graveyard. Also allows us to get rid of some pesky death rattly effects such as Anax. It's a real... Oh, yeah, Embercleave just is like a little finisher-dinisher. In the sideboard, we have some of the expected things against aggressive decks, such as this Disfigure, a pair of Redcap Melees. A very interesting card in the sideboard is Pharika's Libation. One of the things that Mark Rosewater stated is that they want to add a little bit more spread to some of the answering that exists. So, for instance, green and white are traditionally the enchantment destruction colors. They wanted to bleed that into a third color and make Pharika's Libation, or excuse me, make black the worst one. Just a little bit of an addition. So, Pharika's Libation is honestly pretty nice with the existence of Trail of Crumbs, with the existence of Fires of Invention, with the existence of Wilderness Reclamation. It's a way for this deck to disrupt some of the core enchantments in those strategies. And then against, control, we have our Duress. We have some Lilianas for some of the other co-grindery matchups. It's been a very, very fun list. I don't know if anyone else has done this sort of list. I saw someone talk about Nassif. Price was here, says, oh, this is awesome. I was taking a look at Rakdos that Gabriel Nassif was playing earlier. Oh, I'd love to hear about that. Price was here. Oh, so this hand is a bad hand because it has no land. It's good in Hearthstone, though. I'm going to get rid of this one because, it's 4 mana, and I want all my 2 mana things that I can cast. Kitty for Cats says, hello chat, hey Sean, kids are sleeping, work is done, it's poutine time. Good thing that you chose to stream right now. It's been a while since I got to watch without interruption, man. Hell yes. Go ahead and fire up Cardboard Live. Alright, so we see a blue mana. This is often a Simic Flash or Azorius Control maneuver. Alright, it is Azorius. Nice, we're hitting our land drops. I find that the hardest thing to do in this is actually get out the double lands. Wow, we didn't hit any creatures in the graveyard. Temple calls the dead. It's actually not a big deal. One of the hardest things to do with this deck is just be able to hit the lands that you need. As in, getting double red, double black to be able to cast.
Here goes nothing.
Alright, get another guy out. This has Death Touch, so any block here will cause this to die. Perfecto. I'm going to go ahead and cast Kroxa right now. Getting Kroxa into the graveyard is really nice early. Like, I might say, dang, I should play the Bonecrusher, so that way I have presence on the field. However, if I draw a mountain, I want to be able to immediately cast Kroxa. So look at how much stuff is in our graveyard. If we cast Kroxa and it gets countered, we can then immediately cast Kroxa. Hooray. Perfect. By the way, Mire Triton is a zombie merfolk. And if you look at Tymaret Calls the Dead, the third chapter is you gain X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. So Mire Triton actually procs the thing that we care about. Alright. Luma says, I'm sure this deck is good, but I just love that Rakdos deck you played with Ephemia and Hateful Eidolon. Oh my god, it's fucking so funny, man. It is such a funny deck, Lumo77. Alright. So here is where some of the juicy stuff occurs. Bring it on, Woney. So first let's cast this. what are we going to exile? Fabled Passage, Remorse, 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 Fabled Passage. And look at how many more things are left. Oh my god. And then, oh, dude, also. Oh my god. I literally forgot what I was saying. I literally forgot what I was saying. Yeah, see, look at this. Countered, immediately recast again. This is so nice. Alright, looks like we got a resolved Kroxa. Yeah, DQ, I'm sorry about the mostly walking Aru. So, if we bank a land, that's actually going to be pretty sick. Wow. How many do we have in that? We're a little close. So, alright. This is what's so sick about this. Typically, with countering, you're supposed to be denying key plays and then getting slow card advantage. That's 100% fine. We don't care about that. But you can just endlessly recast, and it's so good. What's in your hand? Dovin's Veto? Is it Dovin's Veto? Yeah. Alright, so the only thing that our opponent has in the bin is Teferi, Time Revelary. It's just so efficient, this grinding. It's just so efficient. Elspeth Conquers Death does not hit Kroxa, which is the thing that everybody forgets. Four and 2 is 10 damage. So that was going to be pretty brutal. Okay, so Bonecrusher Giant is not particularly useful to deal 2 damage, so that one's going to come out. Ashiok is probably good to have some of, due to the fact that Elspeth Conquers Death brings things back. Duress is an easy include. Destroyed creature or planeswalker that's green or white. I don't necessarily know if that's the one I want. I'm going to put in Liliana Dreadhorde General. That seems like a very strong card to have against the potential... What's they fucking called? The potential Dream Trawler. What do I think about this Bedevil? I don't necessarily know if we need the Embercleaves. This, no. Pharika's Libation. No. I think no. It hits Elspeth Conquers Death. Doesn't seem particularly important. I don't really think I need this. And the reason I say that is I'm going to include Ashiok, because Ashiok, in a way, is a form of card draw for us. Actually, I'm going to get this Bedevil in there. Because if I put a whole bunch of stuff in the bin... If I put a bunch of stuff in the bin, then that increases the chance that I'll have, like, Kroxa's Phoenix of Ashes to cast and the resources to cast them. Pharika's Libation hitting Dream Trawlers, I think, is relevant, but I'm worried about my buddy having, like, an 04 wall or something like that. The Pegasus Flood, you know, tons and tons and tons of Pegasi. Pegasuses. Okay. I'm going to play the Mire Triton. I have played this deck enough to know the following. The best thing that you can do is a turn 4 Kroxa. The best path to that is turn 2 Mire Triton, turn 3 Tymaret Calls the Dead. That's the best journey to there. Because if one of these places into the graveyard a Kroxa, this will always put 6 cards into the graveyard. This obviously puts 2 into there. Then if you put in 2 and exile 2, you still have 5 extra cards in the graveyard for Kroxa. Shadow of the Sky is fine. Because we're going to play Tymaret Calls the Dead and hope to hit a Kroxa. Yeah, I'll ditch one of those. Turn 4 Phoenix of the Ash is also... It's good, but it's not astounding. It's just good.
Commotion.
But we still have a relatively high probability of hitting a Kroxa. Because, again, 3 things will get put into the bin. This is going to be a total of 7. We can exile 1, and we're still good.
This isn't a fight you can win. Let's try this.
Ooh, yeah. Let's exile Tymaret Calls the Dead. Now, what is a good maneuver to do in this situation? I think the first thing... I think I'm actually probably not going to play the Phoenix of Ash. I don't care the most about this Narset, because I'm not going to have any way to draw a card anytime soon. Valero Arvius says, thanks, Sean. I've been spending what little free time I have playing Slay the Spire. It's so damn good. The game is so fucking good. Let's go ahead and get the one that we can't hit with our infinite removal, and let's get rid of the one that lets spells get cast at instant speed. So now we have a Kroxa incoming. This will need to die. If Arcana Sun's Grace gets placed, I'll just Bedevil it and move on with my life. 5991 says, did you see the new Outsider? I'm so pumped for the finale. I saw episode 8, but not episode 9. Dude, I have been loving the Outsider so much. The 10 Who Are Taken says, I picked up Stardew Valley with a couple of friends 3 weeks ago. The game is something special indeed. It's magical. It both feels like a game that if you're a gamer, it speaks to you in a really kind of special way, you know? I'm gonna go ahead and do this play, which might look a little funky. But the reason I'm doing this is an exile effect for 3 drops. And I don't want this exiled. Alright, I'm just going to continue to... Actually, how many do we have in the bin? Alright, I'm just going to Tymaret Calls the Dead. I'm Tymaret-ing because this is an extremely good target for Wony to absorb, but it is still a worse target to absorb than Kroxa. So now Wony will not have a good play. But yeah, Stardew Valley feels like this weird mix of both feeling like a love letter to things that any gamer would just feel the heart in it and just have one of those, oh my god, yes, it's exactly the kind of game that I miss and want and reminds me of my childhood. And it simultaneously is a game that, like, people that don't play games love. It's like it's like the complete opposite of this. Because, I mean, if you look at something like Bastion is a game that really appeals to someone that grew up playing games because it has that look and that feel to it. But it can have the same accessibility difficulties as someone who's not comfortable with that kind of control. Dude, I played this out so sick. when he just concedes here. Can we just appreciate how sick this little deck is? This little grinder? Shako Botch says it's insane to think that such a masterpiece was made by a single person, though. It's both amazing, but there's also an element that I get about it. I mean, like, I want to take nothing away from it. It's one of the most incredible and amazing things that has ever happened. The fact that one person made that game. But there's something that, when I think about Stardew Valley, which is if you have a large creative team working on something, there is a lot of debate that winds up happening. Should we go this direction? Should we go that direction? Well, here's why I think A is good. I don't know. I did something like A 2 weeks ago, and I didn't enjoy it. So I think B is the right way to go. Well, you know what? I played C when I was a kid. You know, and there's all these different ideas, and then there's the navigating of all of that sort of shit. But when you are working alone, you just have full control. You don't ever have to spend time debating or discussing. Now, I literally have spent a career doing lots of collaborative creative projects. And I think that a lot of that communication is so valuable and so important. I'm not saying it's bad. I am saying it's time consuming. Because let's say you go, here's a cool idea I have for the game. And they go, yeah, I don't know, man. And then you explain it to them for, say, an hour. And then they go, oh, actually, I get it now. That sounds really, really good. Hour well spent, especially if this is a person who's going to be working on, say, art, and I can't do art. Right? That's like really solid, fine, good shit. Alright, it's a good time to get a little bummed because we didn't draw Lando Calrissian. Let's get rid of this one.
I've got it.
But yeah, if you're just working by yourself and you go, yeah, this'll work, this'll feel cool, and you just do it. Alright, I really hate everything. We're probably okay still, but doesn't mean I'm not about to burst into tears. Ah! You still are a mostly live man. It's going to be Fabled Passage for a mountain, crack it, shoot me in the face, play a big bad boy. I've talked to... Okay, I'm just going to get out. Sometimes if you don't draw land in a deck that does have 25 land, you will lose the video game. But, I mean, I've talked to people before about the idea of, like, Levi's problem situation. If you want to do thing X and I want to do thing Y, sometimes it is about which idea is better. But a lot of the time, probably most of the time, it's that both are fine ideas. We need to just pick one. If you want to do a romance movie, and I want to do an action movie, we can do a good movie in both of those categories. Just pick one. And it also comes down to, like, specific details. Like, take Fallout, for instance. If you said, show me a gritty post-apocalyptic world, a detail aspect you could do is say, I want this to just be really gritty and realistic. Boom, you have something like Cormac McCarthy's The Road. Fucking brutal. Or you could infuse some of the ideas of Fallout, some of the black humor, Pip-Boy, the sort of retro futuristic robot looks. Like it's a very different apocalyptic feel than The Road, and they both work. One is not a better apocalypse than the other, according to the market at large. A lot of people read and watched The Road. A lot of people purchased and played the Fallout series. I gotta figure out what the fuck I'm doing real fast here. Pharika's Libation, probably pretty good. Probably don't need to be... Oops, those are the Phoenix of Ashes. Probably don't need the Bonecrusher Giants. Ashiok Dream Render is probably not as necessary. We do want a lot of instant speed removal, so I think Bedevil's good. I think the 3 Pharika's Libations are good. I don't necessarily think we want Liliana Dreadhorde General because it's not really a grinder matchup. Duress is the one that I'm debating on. Should I cut the Embercleaves for the Duress? The Embercleaves for the Duress? Probably yes, even though I do need a win quite quickly. The fact that we can disable the core card in the entire deck with that seems like a reasonable decision. And again, the point that I want to make is that if you were in a room and there were people saying we should take our apocalyptic story and we should push it... Oh, God, this is like nearly an amazing hand. I'm going to keep it because I know 100% of the time the Temple of Malice guarantees that I get a land the next time. If you're in a room debating with a bunch of people, dude, no, we should go more gritty, more realistic, and another group of people going, no, we need to go more silly, more comic booky. Did I already lose Mythic? Resets every month. The Chalice resets every month. And we're just now starting March. Well, I guess I got my fucking wish. If you have that room of people sitting there debating, discussing, trying to figure out, trying to consider some shit. It's gonna take up a ton of time. It's going to take up a ton of time. So I think that when you're in a Stardew Valley situation and you just intuitively go, yeah, no, I'm feeling like this is the right thing, and you just pursue it. More than anything, I feel like this is like what I think of when I think of creative voice. It's not about making sure that you have some sort of unique and magical... I'm so fucking sick. It's not about ensuring that you have some sort of unique and magical representation of your voice in the story. I don't think it's about that. I think that it doesn't have to be unique or wry or interesting or any of that. It's about the idea of a consistent sequence of decisions that is getting made. Where, you know, if... decline. I should have played this first to fill my graveyard even more. If I am wanting to make a much more hardcore action RPG, I might wind up making decisions consistently down one path that results in me making Dark Souls. And when I hear, like, yeah, the voice comes across really strongly in Dark Souls, I feel like I can really hear someone and feel someone pushing in that one direction. Crack for red, discard 2 cards, get back, God Eternal, Oketra. But it's unfortunate because that shuffles up the entire deck. J-Tron may just realized the mistake that he making. Spires Lee says, hey Sean, I wanted to sub to tell you that your emotional wisdom has helped me go through some rough times in my life. I'm eternally grateful for what you do. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you very much, Spyros Slee. Or Spyros Lee. However you want to parse it. I'm really glad to hear that my sort of speaking to my stresses and anxiety and feelings has been helpful for people, because you know, I think there's always a risk that that can be a little bit belabored. You know, like, where I'm a human that is tuning into Twitch to get the opportunity to watch some damn content. And here's this guy who just keeps talking about my feelings and you know. I mean, if I'm listening to the radio and the guy there's talking about what he cooked for lunch that day, or he starts talking about some of his problems or whatever like that, I'm just like, you know, I hope that guy feels better. I really want to listen to music. Put on some music, please. Do you want to kill a snowman? Oh my god, Dithanos, that's right. Tycho dropped a new album. Let me open this thing up. Tycho. Is it good? That's another question. Is it a good album? Come for the day 9, stay for the Sean. Oh, Kaisparvo, that's a cute way to say that. Oh! This is not incredibly relevant in this matchup. By the way, this art is just really beautiful. Fuck. Alright, show me what you got! I feel very weird not binning Teferi, but if it goes Teferi plus, then I can just absolutely dunk on J-Tron. It's Teferi minus, that's...
Sorry I'm late.
Still okay. Great.
I have a plan.
Go ahead and play this one first. My graveyard is not full enough to get me excited about shoving Kroxa in the bin yet.
Here we go.
Get out of there. Crunched for lunched. I think I sideboarded correctly. Right. The card we super duper don't want to see is a Fires of Invention. Well, if I can get a good old Lando Calrissian, that would be kind of nice. Okay. Oh wait, this guy can draw. I'm dumb. I was like, alright, I'm gonna fill the bin. I don't have enough cards. Oops, that's not the right one. I think probably eating that to Extinction was probably the best. Did I maybe just lose? I don't think so, because the health gain. Might try to zoop me in here, because this is 11 damage right here. 1, 2, 3. 11 minus 2 is 9. Plus 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so J-Tron is lethal, because we accidentally make you a mistakey. But let's see if J-Tron sees it. Doesn't see it. Nice. Sick. You love to see it, you know? You love to see it. Let's get that one out of there. How do they have lethal? This is 5. This is 6 damage. Playing this, give it haste. Now they have haste and trample. This 2 gives an additional 2 damage. These 2 give an additional 2 damage. These 2 give an additional 2 damage. So that grand total is going to be trample plus 11, and then it would be 11 to 13 to 15 to 17. I block 2 of the trample damage back down to 15. They don't have fires out? Oh my god! Did you know the Cavalier of Flame costs mana? Holy shit, I have like not actually considered the cost of a Cavalier of Flames once in my entire life. Wow. Did you know that the Cavalier of Flames fucking costs shit? Oh my god. Alright, it's time to just see why the Mire Triton is an absolute evil. Because this has Death Touch, this is blocking so much. Get the fuck out of here. Prepare to get your bonk on. 5991 says, I like how he assumes they have fires out. You are actually giving me credit for something I am not doing. It was not the case that I went, I think my opponent has fires out, therefore blah, blah, blah. It's that I've never even tried to fucking compute mana that's being used past turn 8 in this situation. And it is a good day to discard. And a bing, and a bong, and a bong, and a bong, and a bing. So here's what's cool. If I play this, if this is a removal spell, yeah, let's fucking put that shit on top, because we can kill a man next turn. Does Death Touch not prevent trample damage? It just has no relationship with it when I'm defending. So if this is a 2-1 with Death Touch and they have trample, they would still assign 1 damage to me and then a little bit more damage via the Death Touch.
Right on schedule. Don't worry, I got it.
What could it be? Is there a way for us to die next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if there was another Cavalier played, that would be 7 and 7 damage. My question to myself is, do I play the Mire Triton now? Or I could play the Kroxa, deal 3 damage, and kill the Phoenix of Ash next turn. There's already been an Aether Gust used. I think this is a more intelligent play. Because this heals me, which is nice. If I draw a land, I can still Kroxa Phoenix of Ash. And this prevents a lot of damage. Britspace says, any more resources you found valuable in group decision making? I've been heads down in the same, just this evening, in fact. Britspace, I've had the great fortune of just getting to participate in a shitload of projects in short-term situations. I mean, because like, a lot of what I've done is live event stuff. Yeah! Elspeth conquers fucking none of this shit. Alright, so this has to chump. You love to see it, you know what I mean? When I'm exiling, I want to exile non-creature, non-enchantments, because creatures and enchantments can be peeled away with... creatures and enchantments can be peeled away with Tymaret does shit to the dead, whatever the name of that spell is.
Might be a bad idea.
So, yeah, I've had a lot of fortune to just have tons of short-term projects. And so I think that there are I don't know any resources where I'm like, hey, if you want to get better, read this thing. Like I don't have that as much. I have like a lot of experiences and shit like that. And I think that the most effective, maybe the most effective thing that I have ever heard ever, or not heard, most effective thing that I have found ever is the most important way to move a conversation forward is through reframing. So for instance, if someone says, I think we should do X, and the other person says, oh, we shouldn't do X, I don't think that's a good idea. It's very easy to start debating X versus not X, because that's what everybody said. What goes into bin? I guess a Mire Triton? Instead of trying to say yes X versus no X, to try to reframe it as something else. By the way, this is a really important keep. Getting double red, double black is like essential with this. So for instance, let's say that we were working on a card game together, And I don't think I beat this deck ever, for what it's worth. I don't think I ever beat this deck. I don't have a lot of experience against Jund Sacrifice, so I don't know its weaknesses. Anyways, let's say we're working on a card game together, and we do a play test, and someone says, ah, man, I really think that it was really confusing at this point. Oh, and I really think... Actually, everything's fine. I don't give a shit what gets discarded here. It was really confusing. Those cards were so complicated. I think that you should just simplify a lot of the cards. And then someone else in the play test or work group says, well, I love the complexity. I don't think we should change the complexity. Oh, we are inexorably fucked here. Holy crap. I have never been more dead in my life. I don't even want to play this game out. Alright, let's get the big Bonecrusher out. Instead of saying, you should, like, okay, what's more important, making it simpler or leaving it complex? You know, let's do the debate. Let's figure out the back and forth. Let's figure it out. Come on, here we go. It might be easier to say, okay, guys, I'm going to step in. I want to zoom into why you're saying that you want the game simpler. Was it the confusion? Like, explain to me how you were confused. And then they might talk about it, and you might be able to say, okay, so what I'm getting from you is that maybe if this were less confusing, you'd be happy even if the cards were a little more complicated. You know, and there's a school of thought which is like, never get, you know, never try to state to the person who's getting feedback what they should be getting, but still that sort of reframing can make the person go, yeah, no, like, there are other complicated games I've played that actually felt good. You can ask maybe more about other complicated things. So suddenly you shift the focus of this group creative problem where people were talking about make it complex, make it simple, make it complex, make it simple. And you've reframed it to be about confusion. You've reframed it to be, you just don't want to be confused. I get it. So that's something that we're going to try to think about how to tackle. God, I'm so dead in this game. That's something we're going to think about how to tackle, how we're going to approach, etc., 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 etc. Ooh, you hate to see it. I don't know. Go Phoenix. I really don't think we win this. I don't know if my intuition's correct on this, but I feel really bad. Did OP mess up by not fizzling the Rider, asks Siege Rabbit. I don't think so, for two reasons. First of all, if you are using the oven on the cat, you get 2 procs of the sacrifice. You get the sacrifice of this creature, or excuse me, 3. You get the sacrifice of the creature, that's 1 proc for the Mayhem Devil. This food token gets sacrificed to bring back this Cauldron Familiar, and then the Cauldron Familiar pings on its own. And so you get an extra ping from this, and then 1 extra damage to the face. And so by sacrificing the Cauldron Familiar instead of the other one, that's the benefit that is gained. Whereas if my opponent tried to sack the Mayhem Devil instead of this, there would not have been an extra opportunity to bring back the cat for the extra ping damage. And then we might say, okay, well, is the extra damage better than making sure that no Murderous Rider gets cast? I don't think so, because the Murderous Rider can be endlessly block-sacked by the Cauldron Familiar, allowing it not to get any life gain damage. This, I mean, this just feels fucking horrible. We are absolutely dead. This just feels like dog. What do we do? Embercleave is useful. Ashiok Dream Render is useless in this matchup. Doesn't really do anything. Is Bonecrusher even that good here? I don't think Bonecrusher is actually that good. I mean, we can get the bird. Let's see here. Doesn't Ashiok exile the cat? It literally can exile the cat. It functionally never does, because they can always, in response, bring it back out of the graveyard. So in that context, it winds up totally sucking ass. Maybe the big lady. what is my plan in this matchup other than just like agonizing death? That'll help me get the Trail of Crumbs out. Yeah, I find reframing nice, and I also find not responding to the thing the person said, but trying to dig past to the thing the person means and what their perspective is, because in group settings, particularly creative ones, a really big psychological thing is that you feel like you're heard. You know, if someone went, "Hey, Sean, I played this card game and I was really confused." It's easy for me to go, "Yeah, listen, we're adding in a tutorial. Let me get your feedback later." Right? You respond to the thing they said. I was confused, or we're going to address confusion. Done. Boom. Just be like, okay, so just so I understand, how are you confused? Was it like when this happened? Oh, right. Oh, yeah, no, I can totally see that, right? You kind of repeat back to them what they're saying. And then you just, at the end of that, then you can respond to what they say. Again, they said it was too confusing, it needs to be less confusing. So then you ask them more about their perspective, ask them more about the perspective, ask them more about their perspective, and then in the end, yeah, we're going to address that in a future thing. Because now, they don't feel pushed aside. They feel like you actually heard them talk about the shit that they thought was going on in their gameplay experience. And those two techniques I use a mega fucking shitload. Like, in, like, all walks. Oh. 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 Don't play anything, Muldrifter. No. Alright, my little zombie with an Embercleave is going to win me this game. Woohoo! So on Hax's Day now, what advice would you give on overcoming negative thoughts? Well, what are they? Give me more details. Tell me about it. Show me what you got. So which is Oven worth bedeviling? I'll be honest, I completely forgot that Bedevil can kill that. It's a great, great question. In this particular circumstance, it's posing no direct immediate threat. I think I still wouldn't want the Bedevil. I want cards that do shit. Ooh. Show me what you got. Fuck out of here. Show me what I got. No. And then I'll sacrifice it. Sacrifice me. Zonehax is doubting myself, like wanting to give up on uni because I started 7 years ago and I still haven't graduated. Well, hear you me, my dude. I think that one thing that's useful is to reach out to someone and literally ask for support plus the framing. Like, instead of going, dude, I'll never complete university, say, hey, dude, I'm having these, like, really intrusive self-evaluations that are really frustrating to me, and I was wondering if I could talk to you about it. I go, yeah, sure. Yeah, I just keep feeling like I'm doubting my... Just hurt me. Make it... Give me pain. I was wondering if I could talk to you about it. It can be super, super, super helpful to just frame it like this. So for instance, you say this... And you're saying, I want to give up on uni because I started 7 years ago and I still haven't graduated. Don't worry about it, man. There is all sorts of people that took extra time to graduate from university. And I have literally never, ever, ever heard someone say, I wish I graduated university sooner. And you know what? I also have found in life it is more or less bullshit what a lot of people, what their credentials were coming out of school. Oh, I did this with honors. Oh, okay, cool. You know, like, I run a Twitch channel and I usually design emotes, and I don't give a shit where you went to school. Just show me an emote. You know? If you get through it in 7 years, hell, if it takes you 10 years and you get through it, then guess what? You have a university degree and you did it. Dude, fucking good on you for just continuing to push through for 7 years because it's something that you want to go through. Just concerned about my future. Oh yeah, like in what way, Zone Hack? In what way? What are you concerned about? And Zach Lightning 24 says, any deck ideas we're trying out today? Currently everything is hell. So it's not super clear to me what's going to be going down. Get in there. There are so many usual life metrics that are absolute, utter bullshit. Like, first of all, you need to go to college to succeed. One of my good friends literally went from high school straight to go work at a game studio. And then just did that from like age 18 to 25. Left at age 25 with 7 years of experience. I'm kind of winging these numbers. And then worked at some other companies and now like I don't even think he's 30 yet. How old am I? Yeah, he's a few years younger than I am. He's like not even 30 and he's like doing his own thing now. And has never had college debt. And is absolutely brilliant. Zone Hack says, as in I'm 25, I'm currently doing long distance with my girlfriend who's in Japan and I'm in Australia. She graduated this year and is wondering when I can come to Japan to live with her. Oh, dude, that actually sounds fucking awesome. Dude, you can finish in 1, 2, 3 years and then go to Japan. That's great. And you're 25. Oh my god, dude. Like let's take your pal Day 9 as an example. Yeah, we just die this turn. Because it's sack draw, this gets double buffed, this double pings, and then if there's an additional sack in there, we're just nuked. Like, I did a math degree. And then in my junior year and my senior year, I was just finding math like too hard. And I don't mean like the workload was too much, I couldn't keep up with it. I was doing a really good job being on top of all my work. I mean, I would literally read the text and go, I don't fucking know what that means. And read the text, I don't know what the fuck that means. Go to my professor, what does this mean? And they would tell me, and I'd go like, I don't even know what you're saying to me, man. It's just not gelling into a thought. It would be as though I was trying to teach one of my cats to play Magic the Gathering. Like, the cat is not needing the right explanation. The cat's brain is physically incapable of getting this fucking game. Okay, that was like me. I just like I don't even know what's happening. And so I applied to half math graduate schools and half interactive media and game programs. And then I went to school for game development, graduate program in interactive media. No matter how sexy you think that is and how much, oh, you're following your dream that might sound like, or even, wow, your math degree wound up being really helpful for your ability to think about formal systems. Cool. You know, for all of that stuff, I want you to picture me go into school in something I didn't go to school for. Because I didn't feel like I was smart enough to keep doing math, and I felt like I kind of just mulliganed life a little bit, where I was like, nah, I'm not a math guy, I'm actually... And I just kind of did a different trajectory. Now that I'm 33, all that shit that happened... when did I get out of school? All the stuff that happened like 12 years ago. Oh, how I wish I'd kept my Kroxa. Wait, is Frank and Doc doing the same deck as we are? Tight! I mean, 12 years ago, I was actually really feeling like I just kicked a reset switch, and I was feeling a little bit like... Yes, fill up my bin. Oops. When Frank and Doc's doing the same deck as we. Look at this day 9 planning ahead. Look at this day 9. I mean, like, honestly, I felt a little bit kind of failure-y. And then, you know what? You know what happened? In the middle of my game, it's an interactive media program, but I was like, okay, then I am going to focus on the game development side. There were people that did environmental design, you know, went to go work at Disney Imagineering, designing theme park spaces. There was those sorts of students. There were students that did interactive art exhibits. There were interactive artists. And I was like, I make the video games. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to make video games. That's what I'm going to do. I planned to start a small studio with one of my classmates. That's what I was going to do. Yeah. And then I started doing streaming about StarCraft. So suddenly, in the middle of my second year of my 3-year program, I was like, oh, I'm traveling everywhere talking about a video game. Am I not someone who makes games now? And I actually almost dropped out after 2.5 years. I was this close to dropping out. I actually contacted a professor and be like, I think I should drop out. And they were like, dude, just make your streaming thing your thesis. And I was like, oh, that's pretty smart, huh? And so, like, even right up to that, I was like, there's kind of a, like, man, what the fuck am I doing? And again, now that I'm 33, I understand that I'm learning a whole bunch of different skills, and they're very valuable for any project that I would want to do, and I actually feel good. Hold on, let me just do some sideboarding here. I'm against someone who is trying to fill up their graveyard, so this is the best card we have. Is a Duress any good? Probably. Embercleave probably doesn't matter. This card really sucks here, doesn't it? Huh? Probably a Bedevil. Bedevil. I think this is going to be a match of violence. That's what I think this is going to be about. But yeah, dude, like, and so it's, you know, I think if we're being a positive, uplifting person, we would say Sean, he studied math. He took that math degree, okay, so there's the one first. He took that math skill set and directed it into game design and development. And following that, pal Day 9 took an incredible, took an incredible opportunity, started Day 9 TV, and followed it up, and can still use the development skills to make awesome interactive games for his audience, such as the Gauntlet and such as the other one that we had the playtest for today that went fucking sickeningly tight. Anything scary in here? No. Yes, it is my dude Kroxa. Yes. I mean, I can still do all those things. But if we want to be like, what was Sean's feeling at the time? Wow, I had to stop math because as a math major, I was too stupid to do it. And then spent this whole time doing this game design degree that I just kind of shrugged to the side in order to do Day 9 TV, a business with which 100% of people, save for like my mom, told me was going to be an abject failure and waste of time. And look at me now, I'm exiling all of Frankendoc's graveyard. I'm a success! And I mean, if I'm being, I think, purely objective, the answer is nobody really gives a shit and everything is more or less fine. If I dropped out of my grad program and just had the debt, you know what debt more or less does? It just takes time to pay off. It's just time. It's just time. Just gonna have to be patient. Just time. These little zombies are absolutely shitting on my shit. I think we're gonna lose to Frankendoc. Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna concede. I think in the mirror we just got owned. I think I should have been actually exiling Timur. Wait, I won the first game? Yeah! Yeah! Look at me now! So Zone Hack, you're gonna be fine. It, like, totally doesn't matter. Like, if you graduate from your university, let's say it takes you 10 years. If you graduate from that university, what's gonna happen is you're gonna apply to a job, and they went, okay, so you went to university for, computer science? And you're gonna go, yeah. And they go, okay, cool. How would you solve this problem? And that's literally all they're done. It's over. They don't have anything more to ask you because you just have a degree. Done. Hands up. I mean, I have done hiring with the traditional job application. Here is my cover letter, and here is my XYZ thing. Put that one in the bin. I want to be able to have a play next turn guaranteed. And that's not necessarily going to be the case. There we go. There we are! We are going to get this one. Yeah, I mean, I've done lots of interviews where I look at, cover letter and the resume, and I don't even care what GPA. If someone had like a 1.9 GPA, I actually don't even really think I'd give that much of a shit. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So if I get rid of this one, we would ditch the Phoenix of Ash. We have it in the hands. That's fine. Let's make it 2-2. Hooray for Fabled Passage. Zomax says, thanks so much, man. One last question. How do you deal with uncertainty in this case? I am unusually comfortable with uncertainty and risk and all that stuff. Like, unusually comfortable with that. But I will note, part of what helps me is I will say, like, let's imagine you start fretting at 6 p.m. Fretting at 6 p.m. Note that you are fretting at 6 p.m. Set an alarm for, let's say, 11 p.m., which is when you might be getting ready for bed. Once it's 11 p.m., Legion's End? Oh my god, what an absolute tech card from Frankendoc. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, let's get our Kroxa. So I think the correct move here is to play the Phoenix of Ash, and then next turn Agonizing Remorse, and play the Dr. Kroxa. Yeah, like, so set your alarm for 11, and then once it's 11, just notice how absolutely fine everything was from 6 to 11 p.m. The thing that is painfully true about real life type situations and real life type experiences. The thing that is agonizingly true is that they all happen in slow motion. Dude, they all happen so fucking slowly. Ooh, Frankendoc make you mistakey. Show me what you got. Gotcha shown. Alright, my opponent has died. So in the graveyard, I will exile the Kroxa. Life actually happens in slow motion. The only thing that happens quickly is games of StarCraft. Everything actually happens in slow motion. Like, I don't know if you've ever missed an electricity bill or a water bill. You ever actually been unable to or missed a payment on your utilities? The day that you don't pay, nothing happens, man. Nothing happens. Some days go by and you're like, it's pretty nice to just like not pay for my electricity and to like have it. And then the lights go out. What that actually happened to me where I somehow I didn't pay a water bill. And I like didn't know that I didn't pay it. I just super didn't pay it. It was like the most not paid water bill. And it takes like a long time. Like I don't know exactly what it's like, but for me it was like a month and change, 2 months, something like that. And all of a sudden I just like turn my faucet. Turn. Huh. Turn. This was back in grad school. And the apartment I lived in was really shitty. And I went, oh, huh, my landlord. I have to contact him because the plumbing doesn't work. And I was like, all right, I guess I don't have any water. So I just went to go get some bottled water. Contacted him a few hours later. He's like, oh, yeah, you didn't pay your bill. And I was like, oh. Really? Well, can I pay it? Now? And he's like, yeah. And then I paid it. And the water came back on. And if it, like, didn't come back on, I literally just go shower at someone else's place or go to the gym and shower there. I mean, it's like super straightforward. I mean, I say this because the bad thing that happened is that I missed the bill and that it took like 45 days or whatever for it to resolve out into anything at all. Here is what I got. Tymaret Calls the Dead is just such a good card. Get that one out. This is the good one. So I mean, like, if you're having some struggles getting a job that allows you to do saving, or you are waiting on an application to come back, or you're trying to grind through the last bits of your whatever. Ooh, yeah, you love to see it. Don't worry that much, man. Don't worry. You'll be able to solve that problem. It will happen really, really, really slowly. Well, you want to say, I always feel like I worry about that sort of stuff adversely affecting my credit score. I completely fucked my credit score. And nothing happened. It was fine. Like, it was super... Alright, who's ready for the next level plays, huh? I'm going to do this. Have a breeding pool. He's going to take the breeding pool. You know he's going to take the breeding pool. Oh my god, I always try to do that. God, I am such a fool. Yeah. To the grave with you. Like, dude. Oh my god. Totally gonna be fine, man. You're gonna be fine. Everything, life happens in slow motion. So just enjoy the evening. I like that, like, set an alarm thing because, like, there are times when I've had some truly heinous, stressful, awful things happen. And then, well, what do you guys want for dinner? Because we should get some dinner. Eat that chicken sandwich. Chicken sandwich is, like, delicious. It's like a very good chicken sandwich. Is it a ghost? Is it a ghost? Is it a ghost? Oh! I'm gonna kill him with Phoenix's Vash. Gonna play more Factorio this week? Okay, here's the schedule. This week, Magic tomorrow, Dota Wednesday, Magic Thursday, Heroes of Might Magic 3 Friday. Bam. Alright, I'm absolutely gonna chow down to Extinction this shit. Num 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 num. Graveyard. The following week, Blade Runner Monday, Magic Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. All for the rest of that fucking week. On Friday the 13th, that Friday, that is 1 week from this Friday. Friday the 13th, don't forget that the Gauntlet is coming up. The Gauntlet. The 10,000 person plus able to be registered in one concurrent game. We're all gonna play, and I got some art UI back from the Lidbug is it's so good. Woody Adrian has all this utility and strength and power in the back end. So that's going to happen. So what's going to happen the week after that? We are devoting the third week of March. The third week of March is Factorio week. We're doing Factorio the whole week. We're doing a week of Factorio. So there's your answer, Mr. W. Whatto? Alright, someone who gives a shit about glass. Kill all my shit and I'll bring them back. Triple MLG air horn. Discard your shit. Oh, that actually sucks that I just put Uro into the bin, man. I think I may have totally made it a mistakey. Well, you know, whatever. Slut-ever. Here's a Fitness is now hosting you for up to 854 viewers. Tuna Cole! Tuna Cole! Oh my god! You guys are my heroes! Tuna Cole are the legends that helped turn me from a chunky spaceman into a marginally less chunky spaceman. I fit in the spacesuit now. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. Alright, Here's a Fitness is here, and their gift to me is giving me a removal spell. Giving me a removal spell off the top. Here it comes. We have nothing in hand. You guys, come on. Fuck. Get me out of this game. Alright. The games are going okay. Bonecrusher Giant doesn't really help us here because it's essentially only good against a tapped Paradise Druid and Atris. What else would we need? Noxious Grasp? Fuck yeah. In one of these grindery matchups, Liliana is actually quite thick, solid, and tight. Ashiok's going to be good. That one's going to be good. Do I want the Ember, Kengar, Embar, Cleavar? That does feel maybe not as important, because I think that my big goal is to going to try to be not on the back foot, as opposed to being on the beat 'em down. Let me see if I can get a screenshot. Oh. All right, boom. That one's horrible. That one's very mediocre. Let's keep it. Sean, can you walk me through your decision making? Oh yeah, if it feels good, it is good. Heroes Fitness, ask how the game's going. They're going good. We're just doing some late night magic, enjoying ourselves, having some of that sweet late night magic action. Do-do-dum, da-da-dum, da-dum, da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-dum. So I'm going to cast the Gauntlet. Oh, yes, I am. I will be the voice of the Gauntlet, 5991. We're going to keep this. We're going to send him out into the bin. Have I played Deep Rock Galactic? I haven't. Beep Beep, I'm a Robot. Wait, Beep Beep, I'm a Robot. Are you different from Beep Beep Beep? Are these two different people? Perhaps? Wait, yeah, wait, what? How long has that been true? I'm so embarrassed. Oh my god. Shit. Alright, let me play this one out. I'm gonna tease you with a screenshot. Oh, I can't. I'm gonna after this game. I'm gonna show you guys a little teased screenshot of the Gauntlet. Holy shit! Have you ever seen someone who's just more owned than your pal Sean? Get in there, Phoenix of Ash. Cerulean Drake. What is this anti-Day 9 red tech stuff right here? I mean, I don't even believe this. At least the Cerulean Drake is a not active, sit there and chill and do not much cards. So that's a relief to us. Look at me going in for 2 Nullhide Bedore. Alright, so I think Tymaret Calls the Dead is like a good play here. I don't really know what Nullhide Bearbore is going for or doing, or what's up. Yeah, let's get that one out. It's time to be a wide boy. What's Nullhide Bedore waiting for, huh? It's making me snore, this Nullhide Bedore. No! Dude, I can't wait to just mush Liliana onto that sweet B field and force Nullhide Bedore to just concede stuff. Damn it, we didn't draw a Lando Calrissian. That's fucking like super duper sad. Dude, what kind of bastard? I mean, seriously. No, decline that. I'm gonna want to do it. Bring it on. Look at my non-red zombie being a threat. Take that, Nullhide Bedore. By the way, this says new Bide Bolhador, and my brain has just mushed all the letters together into an incorrect permutation. But did you know that you can sack the Drake to counter target spell that targets you? See you later, Expansion Explosion. This is giving me such an Expansion Explosion right now. Ooh, you love to see it. Swinging a bong. You know what? Let's just go mass Kroxa, you know? Absolutely massive numbers of Kroxas. Let's get rid of the Mire Triton. I'm swinging with these. I'm going to keep my little Phoenix of Ash. I expect a trade here. Boy, my sideboarding plans are dope.
My army were a little down.
My sideboarding plans, man. You hear the whooshy dooshies going down, man. Kroxa's about to dox you. Tell me what... Because, I mean, this is one of these, like, ooh, Null Hybidor will probably want to be slaying this with an E to Extinction. That costs all 4 mana. Oh, that's the best possible card to get. And we're going to get a land and a land and a land and a land. And then in addition, probably an Agonizing Remorse. Why not? I'm gonna bet $1 million that we wind up seeing. Oops, I didn't plus this. Wind up seeing an E to Extinction coming up soon.
Good help is easy to find in war.
Turkey says, is there any reason why E to Extinction doesn't say Surveil? This is one of those things that will be slightly confusing if you are an expert player, but will reduce confusion if you are not an expert player. And if you are an expert player, it's sometimes okay to confuse them a little bit because they're still going to keep playing your game. The specific confusion is that E to Extinction, this effect, look at the top card of your library, you may put that card into your graveyard. That's Surveil. There's a keyword for that. Wizards is pretty deliberate about making sure that keywords within a set stay within a set, and you don't wind up with this weird keyword bleed, where this is the only place, like if Surveil was listed there, this would be the only card in Theros Beyond Death that says Surveil. Well, what's wrong with that? Is there anything bad with that? Yes. Someone purchases Theros Beyond Death. They're a relatively new player. They see this card, it says Surveil. What's this Surveil keyword? There's a promise that Magic makes that's very subtle. And that subtle promise is, if you see the keyword Constellation, once in this set, you're going to see lots of keyword constellations around. If you see one Titan, there's going to be lots of Titans that are going to be coming up. So it's important to make sure that the consistency is there, so that way someone doesn't buy a bunch of packs, see that there's no Surveil, and just get a little sad. And this is not billions of dollars of revenue are at risk. It's one of those tiny, minor things that is very, very helpful for adding a wee bit of clarity. Alright, so we have found the lethals. I think this is a good sideboarding plan. I think taking out the Embercleaves is something that should be considered frequently with this deck. Gross. I gotta wash these flip-flops, man. I got a cup of coffee, walked back to my apartment. It was at Trader Joe's. Walked back, get coffee at the coffee shop, dropped my coffee, spilled it all over my foot. It's gonna be more Factorio. Third week of March, it's Factorio Week Magenta Fall. Factorio Wiki. What are your go-to Trader Joe's items? I like bags of greens, bags of spinach, bags of lettuce. Those are good bags. I also like just their chicken breasts and salmon. The Atlantic freshwater salmon. Nick says, can you walk through the promise? Yeah, like, anytime you have a type of media, you have to be aware of what promises you are making, whether you are aware of them or not. And one of the promises that is made in this game is you see something cool in the first pack you open. It's a saga. This subtly implies that if you keep buying, you will see different sagas. Why is that? Well, because you see different colors with different spells and different effects. You saw one saga, therefore there's probably different sagas with different effects, right? Makes immediate intuitive connections. So if you have these components and players start to get excited about what could be there. By the way, we just hit a god drop. If the players start to get excited about what could be there, and then you violate that by having one card, one single card that has Surveil and none others. This could be a little confusing, a little disappointing to a new player. For an expert player, you say to them, yeah, they just don't use keywords outside of the set unless it's laced throughout the set. Dithanos says it will also not interact with Surveil triggers, right? That's correct. So, for instance, Dimir Spybug that grows every time you Surveil would not grow if you cast an E to Extinction. Yeah, Tymaret Calls the Dead has 0 impact on my ability to get a land drop or not. If I don't get the third land, then I get totally boned for sure. But you must forget who you're watching here. By the way, look. I'm telling you, Mire Triton into Tymaret Calls the Dead is just an absolute fantastic choice. Our opponent messed up and should have filled their own graveyard. I think a lot of players just don't realize that you can do that, and it is really good. God, Kroxa on turn 4 is an absolute beating. I mean, this card is so good. Far and away the best run out is Mire Triton, Tymaret Calls the Dead into single exile or double exile, and then into Kroxa. It's just so good. Lane Forces can't wait for the next Factorio stream. I can't wait. That game is so fun. Oh my god. I can't wait. I am really excited for the next 3 weeks of streaming. We have a pretty regular week that ends with Heroes of Might and Magic 3 this week, and then the following week... That one's dead.
Witness the ties that bind us all.
Then the following week, we're doing Ori and the Will of the Wisps on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the week after that, Factorio week. Oh! I'll actually keep the Kroxa. I don't need the other one. Alright, so let's see what's going on over here, huh? Masker Girl, Hydroid Krasis, Uro. Let's get rid of this. No ability to redraw is pretty good. See what gets discarded before we make our other play. Good. It is the Uro. Perfect. Kill the land. I will exile theirs, since they have multiple Uros we can get. And that is a pretty roasted Null Hydebador. Not an issue.
Harness the elements.
Great. Super great. Yeah, perfect. Love it. Killed land. Feeling dandy. Just chaining together extra casts. So I want to get the non-creature ones out of here. Look at this. Look at just the absolute sheer bone crushing that's happening right here. Look at this. A pair of mana, neither of which get accelerated by Nissa, who shakes the booty. So good. So good. Alright, so we have a number of choices. I think the best one is probably to... I think I Mire Triton first, see what happens. To the bin, to the bin. And then, how many are in here? We have enough, so that this is good. We're definitely going to swing it here. This deals more damage. I would expect Nalhybador to just desperately get a bunch of land out. Let's keep the lands. He's entered tapped, right? Look for all fours, put him in tapped. Okay, great. Now, Nalhybador actually has a pretty significant decision here. Oh my god, Lord Vashi. Woo! What a treat to see you here. Hope everyone's doing well, man. I'm actually doing great. I'm actually doing great. I'm doing super, super great. Hey, IS00478, can you give me a little bit more detail about your question? And post it in a giant paragraph. Not too long of a paragraph, because it'll get cut off. But one giant paragraph makes it a lot easier to track, so it doesn't get broken up by spammy.
I do love
Sack
a good
all
death
the stuff. Dun, dun, na, na, na. Dun, dun, na, 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 na. Card advantage. Well, dude, that's like a really good one to get here. It's a little sad that it happened this turn. So there should be, like, at most 10 lands come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because there's 8. Here's 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Boom. Look at the avantage. Get out of here. Alright. Non-creature, non-enchantment, non-creature, non-enchantment, non-creature, non-enchantment, non-creature, non-enchantment. We also have the option to start pushing towards a mill.
But effective.
Is this deck not really sweet? Like, really sweet? Nalhybador has a couple of threatening cards, but... Yeah, you can ping for 1, man. You're allowed to do that. Make no mistake about it. She takes the damage, respectfully.
How uncivilized.
Leslie says, how does Liliana's -4 work on paper? Which decides which creatures they will sacrifice first? I actually don't know. That is what we call a concession. Active, non-active. Ah, yeah.
This looks like a fun new toy.
Is 00478 says, I work in software support. We spend a lot of times in meetings talking about the tickets we're supposed to be working on. We spend a lot of time trying to document the ticket and follow the correct processes. This results in me not feeling like I'm getting things done. Any tips on how I can be more productive? Yeah, a few things to note. First one, and I think the big overriding one, and I'll get to the gauntlet screenshot after this. The big overriding one is that in most work environments, the things that feel like you're not getting to work actually are important parts of the job. I stream. It feels like the important thing is when I'm live. That's the reason I do this. I have to spend a lot of time updating my tech, routinely reinstalling all the drivers. Anytime I want to update XSplit, I have to set aside a weekend to update it, test everything. I have a testing process for that. When there's new equipment that comes out, I want to research and make sure that we're getting the right ones. And when I say I mean like the Day 9 TV business, because I get help with some of this stuff. There's a lot of meetings talking about potential deals, potential opportunities. We say no to most stuff, so it's just a lot of listening, debating, and then just, no, I don't want to do it. And it can feel like it's time wasted. Any time in my life when I have shirked on that, the business has gotten way fucking worse. It is important. And this especially happens in software development situations where someone, particularly programmers, feel like the writing of the code is doing work. Reviewing a pull request? That's not work. Why am I reviewing all this code when I could be writing code? Why am I spending all this time discussing what the architecture should be when I could be writing code? All this sort of things. And I would actually note that it could very well be the case that your company functions dramatically better when you go through those processes. So that's one answer that I would consider. Just something to reflect upon. Maybe you take that advice, that comment, and over your next week at work, you're just thinking about it, being like, yeah, maybe this actually is helpful. Or like, no, I'm actually thinking more about it, and no, it's really not helpful, period. The second one that I'll note is if you're having... Oh, fuck yeah. I would be delighted to have this bounced after it does the damage so I can have an additional opportunity to plop it right up, down, on down. Oh my god, look at the pair like you just don't care. Oh. The second thing is if you're having process frustration and process issues, you might talk to someone who comes up with those processes, and I would make sure that there is a concrete statement about where there is a lack of value in the process and a concrete statement about what you think you could do that would be helpful. Because if you, for instance, said, because I know you're summarizing for me because I literally asked you to summarize. And in your summary you said, I could be doing more important work and I feel like I'm wasting time. If you went to someone and you said, I feel like I'm wasting time, I feel like I could be doing more important stuff.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
This is... shit, I actually don't have enough. Actually, this is an incredible play. We just Kroxa from the den, hit the Teferi, and thumbs up. Yeah, the complaint you might have should be concrete. You should be stating things super objectively as follows. You should be saying, we were at the meeting, and we discussed the same stuff that we've discussed for weeks. And I felt like no new information was shared because A and B and C and D were shared. All right, so this to me screams, I have a Shadow of the Sky. Great. Let's keep the discard train going. I would just try to make sure that you have some concrete statements. Not saying you don't, just saying it's important to be concrete. Oh, that's a nice play. This is a bit of a pickle, huh? Now it's not a pickle at all. Ooh, what do I do about this? This is a tough position. I mean, I really am worried about this card specifically here, being a Dream Trawler. But I think I just have to go. I can Embercleave and onto this Phoenix for like 1 billion points of damage. Yeah, try to state concretely what you think the not valuable part is. Maybe you are spending time discussing Component X. And Component X... Oh, thank God, yeah. Oh, it costs 3 now. Farts. Well, that would have cost 1 billion anyway, so... Show me what you got. Probably this. Much as I hate to see. Fuck. So the second thing that I would state is concrete about what you could be doing differently. And let's say that you normally get through 100 support tickets a week, and you feel like that if you didn't do this particular meeting, you could get through 110 support tickets a week. One of the things that just totally sucks is when someone has a complaint and they're not being concrete, they're being abstract. These meetings always seem like a waste of time. It always feels like we're discussing stuff we've already discussed before. Not concrete. It's not that it's wrong, it's just that it's not concrete. That is a beating. I mean, there's going to be a few painful turns, but never give up, never surrender. Tymaret calls the dead, turns us on. Ashiok turns us on. Okay. Kind of an interesting little Azorius list. So I'm going to take a cute line, and I'm not going to play the Phoenix, which would deal the damage. I'm going to instead run out the Murderous Rider. Because there's an Elspeth Conquers Death in hand. It's a very expensive card, and it's a very powerful card. And I want to be able to just, like, smash a Phoenix, smash an Embercleave. I like the statement by Kadoink. I had an experience where a really high-up manager didn't believe when I said the project was in a bad state and would take longer, but I challenged him anyways. 2 weeks later, when reviewing the problems, he saw the mess we were in and understood. I think you have to be respectful, but it's also important to be honest with upper management. Yeah. Good shit and well stated. So this would put 3 in the bin. So we need to do something, huh? Alright. Thassa's damage. Everything is too much damage for next turn, so we can't just, like, pass. This gets eaten, that gets eaten, and if we buff this, it lives and kills the Dream Trawler, and that's, like, pretty good. Right. I don't think I want this. I think I would rather have the other one. Thassa goes away. Everything goes away. I think the Dream Trawler's an above average play here. Elspeth Conquers Death doesn't do very much. Unless it gets this one, which is kind of cute. Kinda cute. And then Charming Prance. Scry 2, no problem. Then it's going to get another Scry 2. 1 top, 1 bottom. Okay, 1 top, 1 bottom. Now we can Phoenix of Ash right now, but I think the better line is to Tymaret Calls the Dead. Guarantees that we get a Kroxa activation. Ooh. Well, what are you gonna do, huh? Bing, bong, bam, bomb. I think I want the Phoenix of Ash. Agent of Treachery can't come back because it was exiled, so that's helpful. Yeah, Kadoink, I really love your point about... I think you have to be respectful, but it's important to be honest. Even with upper management, it'll pay off. Yeah, the idea of conveying something that is difficult respectfully. Alright, well, I love this moment where the hover happens, because Elspeth Conquers Death does not hit Kroxa. This is a 2-mana creature. And that is one of the most oft messed up things. Isn't that just a thing of beauty? Don't you just love to see it? Alright, now. Ooh. So now Agonizing Remorse to get the Dream Trawler out of there. I don't want to deal with that, not one bit. Mire Triton in the bed. The mana cost of this is 2. The converted mana cost of Kroxa is 2. It can escape for 4, so people very oft think that the Kroxa creature is a 4-mana thing. Yeah, I think it's especially tricky for someone who is an employee who's like focused on some particular problem in the weeds that is really hard, and it is so necessary that this person is there to focus on this problem and be in the weeds, you know.
Let's slow this down.
It's really important.
Let's try this.
It's really important. Let's get that right. It's super important. But man, it is so easy to have that person who's in the trenches go to an upper management person and say, I think this should change. And there's an answer. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a member of upper management, and I agree with this statement. I think it should change, but it's just too difficult, and there's different problems that are happening right now that make that extremely challenging. And it's not a question about wanting to do it, it's a question about what's possible to do. Ah, yes, the good old 5-mana Bedevil. Maybe I actually did want the Temret Calls the Dead. Lady is a pain. This is such a neat little deck that we're seeing. Such a neat little deck, man. Who's coming back? Look at this cool deck from Half Cadence, man. This is gonna be a long last game. Hey, you wanna see something cool?
You show remorse, I'll show restraint. That's more like it.
Oh! I don't know what to do about this endless elite guard mage with drawing stuff. I mean, that's like pretty good. Thing in a bong. We get an Ashiok down. Maybe there's a possibility, plausibility of a mill ability. Thassa can just tap everything. Let's not tell a lie. Our deck is pretty cool too. No. I'm gonna concede because I think it's unlikely we win this, and it's 9. Okay. Bonecrusher Giants don't seem like they're going to have a lot of value here. Noxious Grasp is going to have a lot of value because it just kills stuff. Embercleave, I don't think will actually have a lot of value. This will have some value, so I think that like 2 of those is fine. I think I want the Duress and the Lily. I think this is a nice balance. This is a nice balance. Pharika's Libation seems like the only good way to handle Thassa. It hilariously, Semicolon Kid, it does not interact with Thassa, except in situations where it blows. If Thassa is there, then we don't actually get to... We can't cast it. Because it's not a creature. It's only a creature if there's enough devotion. This is the last best of 3. This is the last best of 3. You gotta get up at 6. Want to get early to the polls? Hell yes. Oh my god. Pharika can make them second enchantment, right? Semicolon kid. I'm a dumbass. Whoo! Wowie zowie. You are indeed correct, semicolon kid. It can make him second enchantment. So, well, you know, let me show you a thing or two about how this card works. Yeah, it does that, and it does it very well. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Show me what you got. Ooh, Devout Decree. Fuck out of here. Crack. Oops, I didn't mean to click that, but that's exactly what I wanted. This player's been in it. There they are. There be my Kroxas. Bum ba ba bum dum 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 bum bum ba 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 bum bum ba 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 bum bum da da da. Woo, Myrtle Goose. One of these, one of the lands, and the lands, and the swamp, and the Duress. Do I want to do this? Maybe this is actually. And now that you have done that, you know what? I'm gonna put look at all these lands that were on the top. Cha 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 cha. It has been a nightmare. My neck has been sore as hell. These bugs have been hunching lately. Been a little hunchy dunchy. And then I'll have this flicker, and then we'll. I don't want to do this. I think I'm actually going to spend my last one exiling myself. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that'll give us the best probability of winning. Oh, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. What do you know? 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Wow. That changes substantially what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to recast this. We're going to exile all this stuff, except for the Phoenix of Ash. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom with the scrub. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. I'll go ahead and hang on to this one. You know what? On the top was land and time wipe. Let's get him out of here. Perfect. Alright. This is a good looking situation to be in. Away he goes. Away he goes. 0 top, 1 bottom. Exactly what we want to see. Exactly my style. Alright, let's go ahead and do our ever favorite Tymaret Calls the Dead. I already have one in the hand, and next turn I'm going to be playing a Kroxa. There's a good amount of expensive cards in Half Cadence's deck. Dream Trawler, Elspeth Conquers Death, Time Wipes, Agent of Treacheries, so there is oft a reasonable possibility that we can just or that Kroxa will be able to get us a discard. So. We get the non-enchantment, non-creatures exiled. Isn't it like 1 AM in the States? Katong. Wait, for some reason I thought you were stateside, Katong. Yeah, I'm in California. Uh-oh. It's time for the army of 1/1s. Nope. It's time for the army of God Please. I can't wait for another Elspeth Conquers Death to get played. Let me tell you, your favorite thing, if you run this deck, will be Elspeth Conquers Death getting played, and then the hover over Kroxa, and nothing happens. Do you want to cast Time Wipe? No. Maybe. Yeah, I actually kind of want a Lando. Oh my god, I clicked the wrong fucking thing. Shit. Well, whatever. I guess I was bound to mess this up forever. God. I was trying to eat to Extinction this, because I think it's the best play. My opponent gaining life and drawing a card every turn is bad. Fuck. He doesn't hit Thassa right now? Holy shit, you're totally right. Wow. Hey, Dallas Sooner, happy 70-month anniversary. 70 months anniversary. 70 months. I feel like such a dunce. Die! Oh. So whenever it becomes target of a spell. Oh, it's a spell. Got it. Well, swing it out, man. Block my Fibble Thippy fellow. Da, 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 da. This is a pain in my ass. Do 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 do. Away you go. Katong says, you know how all the US states have cool nicknames? SA is literally self-named the Nana state. What's SA? What's SA? Doesn't get that one. Is that South Africa? Is that what I'm... Am I picking up what you're putting down? South Australian. Ah. You from Melbourne, Katong? You down there? Or actually, I don't know what, because I know that Melbourne is on the southern side of Australia, but I don't know, like, colloquially what the South is. Because, like, for instance, California touches the Mexican border, and it is not considered part of the South. The South in America is the Southeast. Or the South Middle, a little bit. Because that's just, like, weird, man. Yeah, because, like, the South in America is actually more of, like, the middle, starting in the middle and going down, but not all the way down, because Florida is not considered part of the South. It is not considered part of the South. And there's a lot of middle America-y stuff. Time White, maybe Elspeth Conquers Death. I don't have a lot that gets hit by Elspeth Conquers Death. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. The panhandle of Florida is considered the South, but like proper deep, like on the tip of the shaft of Florida. That's just considered Florida. Florida is definitely, in a literal sense, it is indeed in like the South of the United States, but like culturally, it is not considered the South. Florida is considered its own thing for no reason whatsoever. And if Florida seceded from the United States, no one would notice. That's why I was asking, like, what... The Anathor says, the South is like a way of life rather than a location. Yeah. So, like, the more rural you are, the more southern. What about Florida Man? Hope you guys know the story behind Florida Man, which is that police reports are allowed to publish, or the cops. Oh, what is it? It's like journalists are allowed to access police reports because they're all recorded publicly, and that is where Florida Man comes from. Is that journalists are able to just look up insane Florida news stories. By the way, we did this obviously to get around the problem of Kroxa getting bounced. We might just have a naked Elspeth Conquers Death here, which would be hilarious. Farts. Okay. Hello? What? Did we die? Are we okay? Stream was fine? I think I actually just had a graphical issue. Like actual graphics card poop in the bed issue. You saw it hang there. All my applications just like minimized. That was really weird. Oh my god, that was like so weird. I will now tap stuff. Well, I'm glad it looks okay. Let's get that one out. Stream stayed live, that's a win. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that feels good. That is not the best play. Library. My favorite utility land. Does Spires of Orazka count, Scarecrow? I love untapping shit. Half Cadence is now stuck between the proverbial rock and hard place because Half Cadence, instead of just tapping the Kroxa, now has sent the Kroxa back to the hand where I can get an additional activation. Let us first investigate the nature of Kroxa. If it is a land, then we win. It's a time wipe. Hello. Well, this was an incredibly winning night. This deck is very, very, very fun.